Hey frog heads and fragrance lovers, welcome back. It's Benjamin here at the Centaur Fragrance Channel. Really do appreciate you stopping by today. And our review today is going to be Silver Shadow from the House of Davidoff. Now this is a real hidden gem. This is under the radar. Almost nobody talks about it. And it's quite a good value as well. So if you like cheapies, if you like smelling unique, if you want a really good bang for your buck, stay tuned for this review. This one's got it all. So first off, what are we smelling in this fragrance? What's the smell? I'm not really going to dive into the notes. If you want to know more about the notes, feel free to check out Fragrantica, which I will link down below. But this is mostly a patchouli fragrance. There is some nice sweetness, a little bit of almost like a natural subtle sweetness behind this one. And I feel like there's a lot of musk also supporting this fragrance. So what I get, what this fragrance really blends into one accord, very well blended. It's really hard to pick out the notes. That's one reason I also don't want to bore y'all perhaps with all the notes, is that I get a benzoin, which is again a vanillic feeling incense. I get that feel with this fragrance. Benzoin, I get patchouli, and I get incense. So this is mostly, to me, it smells like a benzoin patchouli fragrance. And it's actually really nice for the value for what it is. It is charming. It does have perhaps a little bit of that 80s, 90s patchouli vibe, which can come off as perhaps a little bit more masculine or perhaps a little bit more rugged. But it's really smooth here. It's really refined. And I do think that that was the intention behind this fragrance because, again, it's called Silver Shadow. It's supposed to be, like, right behind you. It's supposed to be, like, you know, an essence of you, be right behind you, but also have a silver quality. That also might lead you to ask, is this a metallic fragrance, Ben? Does this fragrance have any metallic nuances? And I really don't get any metallic nuances that really stand out to me. But it does feel a little bit refined. It does have almost like a chrome or platinum almost feel to the fragrance. It does have certainly a refined, almost classy type of quality about it. But that refined quality doesn't come off as overtly posh or overtly classy. It's a little bit understated. So I think that's where they were going with this fragrance. I don't get anything particularly metallic. And when this fragrance was released back in the day, this fragrance really, you know, still metallic fragrances weren't really trendy, and I don't think that this fragrance really had anything metallic going on. You know, you let me know in the comment sections below if you think there's anything metallic in this fragrance. But overall, it's a pretty nice composition. It's kind of linear. It doesn't change a lot, but you don't need every fragrance to be overtly complex and overtly unique. So overall, I think it's a solid fragrance. I think it's a great one for the value for the money, which we'll talk about in a second. But pretty solid fragrance for what it's doing here. This would be a great fragrance for, you know, somebody just wanting to have their first patchouli fragrance, dabble into the world of patchouli, and have something that's pretty easy to wear. And also, you could layer it with other fragrances. Maybe if you're not used to patchouli, you know, or maybe you don't want to wear patchouli all the time, this one could be layered with other fragrances, really making this fragrance a little bit more versatile than you would think. So, performance-wise, this fragrance isn't a terribly strong performer. I get about 7 hours where it's noticeable. It does linger on as a skin scent a bit longer, but after 7 hours, I don't really notice it too much, and other people in my experience don't really notice it too much. Projection-wise, it's not a strong performer. I'd say about projection-wise, it's about average. Sillage, maybe a little bit above average, but again, for some reason, this fragrance usually doesn't get noticed very much unless you walk past somebody. So, you know, the performance, you might want to, you know, put on a couple more sprays of this one, because for some people, this fragrance might not be strong enough. You know, it could be a little bit stronger, but again, for the value for what you're getting, it's a pretty darn good value. So, performance, not great, but not terrible. It's okay. It could be better. But compliment factor wise, this is where it got interesting. I don't think that this is a big compliment factor fragrance. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it got me crazy compliments and people chased me down. But it got a little bit more notice than I thought it would. Not a lot, nothing crazy, nothing super duper chased down. No, I wasn't told that I smelled super seductive or anything like that, or didn't, you know, do anything special for me that way. But it did have me smelling refined. It is a classy fragrance, and it did have people, you know, really kind of think that, you know, this made you smell a little bit more outstanding, a little bit more confident, and really put me in a good mood, more than I thought it would. Again, this is a very affordable fragrance. I took a risk on this one. I haven't seen many reviewers talk about this one recently. I haven't seen very many fragrance reviewers talk about it in general. And you know, for the price, I thought it might smell very cheap, but it actually smells a lot better quality than you're getting. This is actually a very good smelling fragrance for the price. And again, it might not be terribly unique. It's a little bit linear. It doesn't change a lot. It's not terribly refreshing. But does it have a good presence about it? Does it have a good lift and a good feel? Is it overtly rich, like a deep, darker patchouli? No, this is a very wearable fragrance that does almost have. It doesn't have citrus, but for a patchouli, it does feel pretty fresh, which is nice. Almost like there's some rose or something mixed up in there. It's not a rose fragrance, but you know what I mean. So, anyways, nice fragrance. The biggest reason why I talk so highly about this fragrance is that I got mine for 17 bucks. This was a full-size fragrance. It wasn't even a tester. It came in the original box, sealed, brand new, ready to go. And I got it for $17 shipped to my door. So you can find this one for around 20 or less if you're paying more than maybe 25 right now. As you know, here in 2020, you're probably really overpaying for this one on the the secondhand gray market. And this would be a great patchouli if you've never had a patchouli fragrance in your collection. Maybe you've never thought that you would like patchouli. Maybe you want to take a risk on patchouli and see what it's all about. This is a pretty likable patchouli. It's a pretty wearable patchouli. And this could really get your foot in the door to see that even if you want to dabble with patchouli. Also, patchouli isn't a note that's used all that much anymore, at least in designer fragrances. Yes, there's some that's used in the background as supporting notes and supporting players, but do you actually smell that patchouli? Is it recognizable? Not in a lot of designer fragrances. Not a lot of designer fragrances really come off and actually feel like anything, patchouli-wise in those fragrances. So this one, for 17 bucks, for affordable patchouli fragrance that performs decently, not the best, but it does smell pretty good, and it's fairly likable, and it smells a better quality than its price. Really outdoes itself. It smells a lot better than 17 bucks. I'm telling you guys, I've smelled things that for 20, 30, 40 bucks, and it didn't smell as good as this one, so or more. So pretty good quality, I think you're getting for your money, and it's just pretty well composed. Again, simple, but what else can I say? Not a bad fragrance at all. So guys, I want to wrap up this review. I'd be interested to see if you remember this fragrance. Maybe you have some nostalgia. Maybe you still wear this fragrance. Maybe it's a hidden gem in your collection, or maybe you've just never heard about this one. I don't think everybody's heard about it. I don't think everybody knows about it. I wear this, just casually. I don't wear this one for fancy occasions, but it could be dressed up. This would be a great office fragrance, if you do like patchouli but want to be classy and, want to be able to pull off a patchouli in a professional environment, and maybe you also don't want to smell smell too showy or too flashy, and maybe you don't want to spend all your money on fragrances. 17 bucks, spraying it all day, every day for the office. Silver Shadow, I think, would be a great office, semi-formal fragrance as well. So, outstanding value for the money. You could buy a lot of bottles and wear this all the time for the office, and I think it'd do you very well. Anyways, enough of me talking about this as a business fragrance. Let me know in the comment sections below. Do you like Davidoff as a house? Do you think they're kaput? Do you think they're done? Do you think they're boring as a house? Or do you like the house of Davidoff, and do you wish that they would make some new exciting releases? Or do you think that Davidoff house was one of the best houses ever? Or maybe you just thought they were boring. Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what did you think about my review today. What do you think about this fragrance? And let me know. Maybe tell me if you like patchouli or not. I'd be interesting to see how many of y'all either like or dislike patchouli. So let's get all those conversations started down in the comment section below. If you liked my review today, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video, and tell a friend. So I'll see you next time, everybody. Peace out. Have a beautiful day. Wear what you love. Rock what you got. Stay out. Stay smelling beautiful, my friends. And I'll see you next time, everybody. Peace out and bye.